This is Drips Media, and I will be covering NFL news in this program. Please follow us online. Now let's check out the NFL action from Week 4. The Giants hosted the Cowboys at MetLife Stadium in a heated NFC East matchup. The Cowboys came out on top in a high-scoring affair, 20-15. Down south in Atlanta, the Falcons edged out the Saints in a close one, 26-24. Over at Soldier Field, the Bears squeaked past the Rams in a low-scoring game, 24-18. Up north at Lambeau Field, the Packers took care of business against the Vikings, winning with a comfortable score of 29-31. And finally, in Indianapolis, the Colts held off a late surge by the Steelers to secure a 27-24 victory. Now let's dive into some thrilling NFL matchups from Week 4. The New York Jets hosted the Denver Broncos at MetLife Stadium, where the Broncos edged out the Jets with a final score of 10-9. Down in Tampa, the Philadelphia Eagles soared past the Buccaneers with a dominant 33-16 victory. Over in Charlotte, the Cincinnati Bengals clawed their way to a victory against the Carolina Panthers, winning 34-24. In Houston, the Jacksonville Jaguars roared into NRG Stadium and defeated the Texans 20-24. Finally, in the Desert Showdown, the Washington Commanders marched into State Farm Stadium and triumphed over the Arizona Cardinals with a decisive score of 42-14. Now let's turn our attention to the exciting NFL action from Week 4. Kicking things off on Thursday night, the San Francisco 49ers hosted the New England Patriots at Levi's Stadium, where the Niners secured a solid 30-13 victory. Out in the desert, the Las Vegas Raiders hosted the Cleveland Browns at Allegiant Stadium, where the Raiders pulled off a close one, winning 20-16. Meanwhile, down in Sophie Stadium, the Los Angeles Chargers fell to the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, with a final score of 10-17. On Sunday, the Baltimore Ravens defended their home turf at M.T. Bank Stadium, defeating the Buffalo Bills 35-10. And finally, in a thrilling Sunday night matchup, the Miami Dolphins hosted the Tennessee Titans at Hard Rock Stadium, where the Titans emerged victorious after a hard-fought battle, 31-12. Now let's head over to the Motor City, where the Detroit Lions hosted the Seattle Seahawks at Ford Field. The Lions roared to victory, defeating the Seahawks with a decisive score of 42-29. Let's take a look at the AFC East standings after Week 4. The Bills are sitting pretty at the top with a 3-1 record. They're led by their explosive offense, putting up an impressive 122 points so far this season. Right behind them are the New York Jets, also at 2-2, showing they can hang with the big dogs. The Patriots and Dolphins are trailing behind at 1-3, still searching for their footing this season. The Dolphins are hoping to turn things around after a tough loss to the Titans. Let's break down the AFC North, where a real battle is brewing. The Pittsburgh Steelers are holding on to the top spot with a solid 3-1 record. They've been a force to be reckoned with, racking up an impressive 75 points while only allowing 53. The Baltimore Ravens are hot on their heels, though, also sitting at 2-2 after a strong two-game winning streak. They've been lighting up the scoreboard with 106 points, showcasing their offensive firepower. Further down the standings, we've got the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals, both at 1-3. The Browns are looking to bounce back after a couple of tough losses, while the Bengals are hoping to build on their recent win and climb back into contention. It's still early in the season, folks, and anything can happen in the AFC North. Let's break down the AFC South, where the Houston Texans are surprisingly leading the pack with a 3-1 record. They've been a force to be reckoned with, showcasing a balanced attack and a stingy defense. Trailing closely behind are the Indianapolis Colts, sitting at 2-2 after a hard-fought win against the Steelers. The Tennessee Titans are struggling to find their footing at 1-3, hoping to turn things around after a tough loss to the Dolphins. Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars are still searching for their first win of the season, sitting at the bottom of the division with an 0-4 record. Can they turn their season around? Only time will tell. Let's take a look at the AFC West, where the Kansas City Chiefs are ruling the roost with a perfect 4-0 record. Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense are firing on all cylinders, racking up an impressive 92 points already this season. The Los Angeles Chargers are trying to keep pace, sitting at 2-2 after a tough loss to those very same Chiefs. The Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders are also battling it out, both holding a 2-2 record. The Broncos have been a bit up and down, but they've shown flashes of brilliance, particularly on defense. The Raiders, on the other hand, have been involved in some real nail-biters, proving they can hang tough with anyone. It's going to be a tight race in the AFC West, folks, that's for sure. Let's shift gears and examine the NFC East, where a real battle is raging. The Washington Commanders are sitting pretty atop the division with an impressive 3-1 record. They've been a force to be reckoned with, racking up 121 points while only allowing 102. The Dallas Cowboys are hot on their heels, though, also at 2-2 after a bounce-back win against the Giants. Further down the standings, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles, also at 2-2. The Eagles are looking to find their rhythm after a tough loss to the Buccaneers. Meanwhile, the New York Giants are still searching for answers, sitting at the bottom of the division with a 1-3 record. Can they turn their season around? It's a long season, folks, and anything can happen in the NFC East. Let's break down the NFC North, where the Minnesota Vikings are sitting pretty at the top with a perfect 4-0 record. They've been absolutely dominant, outscoring their opponents by a whopping 57 points. The Detroit Lions are off to a strong start as well, sitting at 3-1 and looking to make some noise in the division. The Green Bay Packers have had a bit of a shaky start, sitting at 2-2 after a tough loss to the Vikings. They'll be looking to get back on track and prove they're still a force to be reckoned with. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bears are also at 2-2, showing some signs of life with a couple of close victories. It's still early in the season, folks, and the NFC North is shaping up to be a real dogfight. Let's head down south now and check out the NFC South, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are sitting pretty at the top with a strong 3-1 record. They've been a force to be reckoned with, racking up an impressive 97 points while only allowing 78. The Atlanta Falcons are right behind them, though, also at 2-2 after a hard-fought win against the Saints. The New Orleans Saints have had a bit of a roller coaster start, sitting at 2-2 after a tough two-game losing streak. They'll be looking to regain their footing and climb back into contention. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers are still searching for answers, sitting at the bottom of the division with a 1-3 record. Can they turn their season around? It's a long season, folks, and anything can happen in the NFC South. Let's wrap things up in the NFC West, where it's a tight race at the top. The San Francisco 49ers are leading the pack with a solid 3-1 record, showcasing their signature blend of offense and defense. The Seattle Seahawks are hot on their heels, though, also at 2-2 after a tough loss to the Lions. The Los Angeles Rams are also in the mix, sitting at 2-2 after a close loss to the Bears. They'll be looking to string together some wins and make a push for the division title. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals are bringing up the rear at 1-3, still searching for their identity this season. It's anyone's game in the NFC West, folks, so stay tuned for more exciting action. That's all the time we have for today's sports update. Join us next time for more thrilling highlights, in-depth analysis, and all the latest news from the world of sports. Until then, stay safe and stay sporty. Let's break down the NFC West, where it's a tight race at the top. The Seattle Seahawks are currently soaring high, sitting in first place with an impressive 3-1 record. They've been a force to be reckoned with, boasting a powerful offense that has racked up 102 points. Right behind them are the San Francisco 49ers, also holding a strong 2-2 record. They started the season strong with 2 consecutive wins, but have faced some recent setbacks. Can they regain their early momentum and challenge the Seahawks for the top spot? The Los Angeles Rams are also in the mix, sitting at 1-3 after a tough start to the season. They've struggled to find their rhythm on both sides of the ball, but with the talent on their roster, they could easily turn things around. Bringing up the rear are the Arizona Cardinals, currently sitting at the bottom of the division with a 1-3 record. They've faced some tough opponents early on and will be looking to string together some wins as the season progresses. It's still early in the season, folks, and anything can happen in the NFC West. That's all the time we have for today's sports update. Join us next time for more thrilling highlights, in-depth analysis, and all the latest news from the world of sports. Until then, stay safe and stay sporty. This was Drips Media. Please follow us online.